you ever struggle to figure out what it is that you want out of life and what makes you happy? Or have had a difficult life decision and didn't know what path to go down? Me too. Hi, I'm Ethan Wall, and I am not a coach. I don't have an online course to sell you. I have no experience or professional training outside of my own meandering experience. I'm actually a lawyer and write a bunch of books, and I've been traveling the world full-time for the last 6 years, living out of 2 suitcases and a backpack, living my dream in life. After figuring out how to find my path and what made me happy. And I want to share with you the steps that I followed in figuring out how to bring my dreams to life in the hopes that it might help you. And look, we all have different dreams in life, and that's okay. Mine was to explore the world. And at one point in life, I had to make a difficult life decision of like, what path do I go down? Do I move left? Do I move right? And I couldn't figure it out. I wrote down pros and cons of all the different paths of like one decision and the other decision, and I racked my brain and I got to this place of analysis paralysis. And I couldn't figure out what I wanted out of life. I couldn't figure out how to make a difficult life decision. So I Googled, how do you make a difficult life decision? And Google gave me the answer. It said so many people are busy in life and we don't know how to make a decision because we don't know what we want out of life. And I realized for the first time that I didn't know what I wanted out of life. How was I supposed to make a day-to-day decision if I don't know what matters to me? And so I Googled, how do you figure out what you want out of life? And I found a website called Zen Habits. And this guy, Leo Babauta, laid out some steps that he had used to figure out how to make difficult life decisions and how to figure out what your passions in life are. And I stole some of this from him. So Leo, it's yours. But it's the path that I used to figure out what made me happy. And if you listen to our Wholehuman podcast episode and heard that what makes me happy in life is exploring, traveling, reading, writing, teaching, speaking, helping other people, this niche in social media law, spending time with my friends, play, dreams, love. It's by following this 5-step process that I went through. And I hope it will be helpful for you too, if you find yourselves at a crossroads. Or if you're struggling to figure out what's your path in life. So first thing, and what I'm going to do here is also give you the steps, and then I'm going to say pause so that you can go ahead and do this on your own. Feel free to do that. If you don't want to, just stare at me awkwardly while I say pause and stare at you awkwardly, and then keep it going. And also know that these steps are included within a small ebook I wrote that's free. You can have it. I literally made it on Microsoft Word, so it's super basic, but it's a simple guide to discover your passions and live a more fulfilling life. It just encapsulates these steps in a way that's a little bit clearer, and you can use it as a workbook for yourself, and you can have it. It's on ethanwall.com. You can download it for free. There's nothing that I'm selling there other than a link to my Dungeons & Dragons adventures if you want to check those out too. All right, so you want to figure out what you want out of life. Where do you start? You turn off your phone. And the first thing you do is you just set time for quiet contemplation. It's hard to be able to have introspection and go inside when you're on your phone, when your TV is on, when your kids are running around like crazy. And yeah, that's the reality a lot of the times, but you really need to follow step 1. This is the easy one, which is just make time for quiet contemplation. So if you have a difficult decision, or you really want to get to the heart of what it is that might make you happy in life, set time on your calendar to do it. That's step 1. Pause if you want and put that aside, but that's really it. Step 2 is to grab a pad and paper, a pad of paper and a pencil or a pen. And I do recommend doing this on a pad and pencil as opposed to your computer or your iPad because it's got your other apps on there. It's got notifications. If you silence them, the temptation is still there. When you got a pad and a pencil and yourself in quiet contemplation, you got nothing else to deal with but you, for better or for worse. And I want you to write down everything in life that makes you happy. What do you love? What lights you up? What's like a fuck yeah energy for you? What makes you smile? What gets you excited? What do you want to do more of? What do you want people to say about you at your funeral? When you look back at the end of life and figure out what you did, who you were, what are those things? Write them down. I filled up a whole page. And my page included things like going on road trips with my friends, go to Europe for the first time, drinking beer. I wrote this a long time ago. Watching professional wrestling, riding my bicycle, listening to new music, going to new places, getting an RV and driving through all 50 states. Like, those were things on my list. Write down what makes you happy. That's step 2. You could pause and do it. Or we can just go right to step 3. Step 3 is, once you're done with that, flip the page over. I want you to write down everything in life that makes you unhappy. What sucks? What do you not like doing? Okay, yeah, like getting your oil change. Okay, put that on there. Nothing's bad. It like unlocks certain things within you to start writing those things down. What did I put? Like working on legal cases for things I didn't really want to do. Microsoft Excel was on my list. I hated that stuff. Write down all the things that you don't like. And you'll be surprised to know that if one of your questions is like, should I continue to be in this relationship? And what you write down on that sheet of paper is your partner. That's going to tell you something. It does. So yeah, step 2 is to write down all the things that you don't like, or step 3 actually. And so yeah, pause, do that. Step 4, it's easy. Put the pad and pencil away and walk away from it for a couple days. You need to separate yourself from your reflection and be able to kind of process going through that journey of what do I like and what do I not like? What did I struggle with coming up with? Maybe some things came to you during that time and you can go back and supplement your list. That's okay. But I like to take a day or 2 away from that before I get to step 5. So pause. Step 5, you've now come back to your list. I want you to take the things that you don't like, and I want you to just put that aside. That's just for really you to know and for you to learn. Now I want you to take the things that you loved. And I want you to find the things that seem silly, that are not like your core things, either to your life or to your passions, but instead to the decision that you're making. Okay, so for me, for example, I took things like drinking beer, riding my bicycle, watching pro wrestling. Those were activities that I liked to do. And I put them on their own list of like things I like so that I can remind myself if I've got like a spare day, what do I enjoy doing? And I haven't gone out on a bicycle, I can go do that. But the rest of the stuff that's there, the goal is to be able to see what are your main themes? What patterns come up in what makes you happy? For me, it was things like go to Europe, travel the world, see new concerts, discover new music. It was like, oh, I like exploring. I saw other things in my life, such as road trip across the country, visit all 50 states, go to Asia. And I was like, okay, I like travel. From assessing these themes and be able to reflect on the things that make you happy, you'll start figuring out stuff that you truly value or things that are important to you for making your life decision. For me, my list included things like exploring, traveling, reading, writing, teaching, speaking, helping other people, my niche in social media law, and spending time with friends. 5 years later, I added play, dreams, love to the list as well. And why does that matter? Because these things became my pillars, my mountains on the horizon. They're things that make me happy and the happiest. And I don't care where I am, who I am, what my profession is. If I'm doing these things, if I'm exploring, traveling, spending time with friends, helping other people, teaching, speaking, reading, writing, I'm happy. That's the goal. It's not being a lawyer, being a world traveler, being a spiritual guru, being a coach. It's teaching, it's giving back, it's all that stuff. And so for me, every time in life that I get to a crossroads and I have to make a difficult life decision, I think about the things that I love as my mountains on the horizon. And I look at that decision and say, which path gets me closer to doing more of what I love? That's what I do. That's how I've come to live out of 2 suitcases and a backpack and explore the world. While running a law firm, building little free libraries in my mother's honor, volunteering in different places that I go, dropping in, spending time with friends, reading The Alchemist for the 40th time. They're all things that I love doing. Playing Dungeons and Dragons. I do it every Wednesday. Is that a good use of your time? Maybe not, but it's on my list. And so finding out what makes you happy is what's most important. And not what your partner wants you to do, and not what your parents want you to do, and not what society wants you to do. It's about what makes you happy. And if you're at that crossroads decision, hopefully these things help you to say, what are the things I really love? And what decision allows me to do more of what I love and less of what I don't? So that's been my 5 process to figuring out what I want out of life. But I actually have a bonus one for you. And I ran over time, so sorry, Ryan, who's outside right now waiting, and he's going to wait an extra 2 minutes. But I want you to, if you're not done with your list now, pause and find the themes. And then come back to this bonus lesson. And I want to have you take a look at your core values. Maybe not all the things that you like, and ask yourself this. Where does making money fall on your list of core values? Where does scrolling on Instagram fall on the list of things that you love most? Where does drinking beer, smoking cigarettes, sleeping around in meaningless relationships, binging on Netflix, are those on your list? Probably not. But how much of our time in life do we spend doing those things? Things that don't make us happy. Things that don't matter. For most of us, like me, making money wasn't on my list. When I get to the end of life, sit on my deathbed and look back, am I going to say I wish I spent more time scrolling on social media, being on Hinge and going on meaningless dates? Or was it going to be like spending time with the people that I truly loved? Doing more of the things that I loved most. And so if you find that your focus in life is things that aren't on your list, like chasing the money, or if it's spending your time doing things that you don't love, this might be an opportunity for you to make some adjustments or changes. And it doesn't mean that I haven't been on dating sites from time to time. Maybe back on them in the future. That doesn't mean I don't scroll on my phone when I got to zone out. And it doesn't mean that I don't watch Netflix from time to time. But I think I'm a little bit more concerted, a little bit more purposeful about what are the big things that I want to fill my life up with, and what are the small things that I want to put in those empty spaces, including nothing. So that's it. I hope that this little practice has been helpful for you making some decisions or helping to figure out what makes you happy in life. And again, I'm not a coach. I don't have a course. I don't have anything to sell you. I don't have a call to action here. If you thought this was helpful and you want this little ebook I wrote 10 years ago called A Simple Guide to Discovering Your Passions and Live a More Fulfilling Life, visit ethanwall.com. It's on the books tab and you can download it for free. There's nothing to buy. There's no email gate. Just have it. And I don't care what you do with your life. It's not my decision. What I care about and what I hope and what my prayer and intention is for you, that you be happy, and that you spend a lot more of your time doing things that you love, and that you live your dream in life, whatever it is, because each of us one day are going to come to the end. And I want you to reach the end with little regrets. And I want your life to be filled with happiness and joy. I want you to know what your dreams are in life and pursue them. And if you're in a bad job and you want to leave, leave. And you're in your bad relationship and you're not happy anymore, go. There are things out there that will make you happy, and you're the only person who knows what you love and what your dreams and passions truly are. And I hope this helped. I love you all. Goodbye.